Hi everyone, I'm Channing Reed. Well, as all students have now transitioned into the online format of classes, there has been an ongoing concern over their grades. Now, many students have found that motivation is not the only challenge that comes with online classes, but also being able to comprehend some of those concepts, as professors are also finding new ways to teach online. And there is no question that those labs and performing arts classes now bear little resemblance to normal. So, joining me today is James Zarres, an APU student who has been a voice about this very concern since the coronavirus crisis began. James, it's good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Channing. It's great to be here.
So I want to start off with that Candid Kooks page that you created. Well, it now has over 600 members. So I just want to know, why did you create that page and what do you think its purpose is?
Yeah, for sure. So I created the page to provide a place for resources to be shared among students and information. Since then, there's been, people offering to give extra dining points to other people. There have been people offering to help people move out. There have been students offering to do grocery store runs for other students. It's really just been, a place for community. And then it also turned into a place for people to voice their concerns and opinions, not just to the student body, but also to, SGA and admin who are also members. To this day, I'm still a little bit surprised that such a page hadn't existed already.
Yeah, and it just seems like a great page. There have been so many students that, it feels like they maybe have a voice in of some of the other Facebook pages that students have, like Overheard or something like that. So that's awesome. James, I'm sure that you know that there are universities all across the country now. As a response to this coronavirus crisis, they've adopted the pass-fail grading policy. And I know that you've spoken a little bit about this, but USA Today reported that 3 state universities in Florida on March 24th, they had switched over to that pass-fail grading policy. Then we have the University of Wisconsin in Madison on March 26th. They also adopted the pass-fail policy. And then University of Arizona is giving the students an option to request to their professors if they could have a pass-fail grading policy. And then Harvard University is one of 4 Ivy League schools that have also adopted this policy. So given your experience with online classes so far, why do you think APU should switch to this format as well?
Yeah, for sure. So I think the University of Arizona has conducted this, policy the best way. I feel like the policy should be given as an option for students. I feel like making the policy mandatory kind of neglects the students who have been trying really hard in their, in their schools and achieved, great grades, A's that they wanted to hopefully bring up maybe their cumulative GPA. But then on the other end, I feel like if you doesn't, offer this policy, I feel like it will neglect the students who have had a very hard transition, maybe because they, don't have great, internet connection at home, maybe because they don't have a stable place to do their work, or because their family may be affected by the virus, or maybe they themselves might have contracted the virus. I feel like there's a lot of situations to take into account for the policy being presented. But overall, I think it should be presented as an option.
And James, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to online classes?
I think my biggest challenge when it comes to online classes would probably be finding the same level of motivation to do the work as I had when I was in person in the class.
Well, a couple weeks ago, you wrote a great piece, contributed to the quarantine diaries that we have going on zoonews.com. And if those of you that are watching, if you haven't read this piece by James, take a visit to zoonews.com and read his piece. Because, James, you have some great personal information about what was going on with you leading up to this coronavirus crisis. Based off of what you've said in that piece, is there anything that you want to echo as a message to the student body?
Yeah, for sure. So finding out that I may have been exposed to the virus was for sure, a fearful experience. But me and or my roommate and I were very, we're very trusting in God in the moment that we um, didn't, didn't necessarily let fear take over our entire life. We really just trusted God. And I feel like during that time in the 14-day quarantine that we got to know each other really well. But overall, I think everyone's just hoping to see this virus end soon.
Well, James Zarres, thank you so much for being with us today, and good luck to you as you finish out the semester.
Thank you, Channing, to you as well.
Well, as with this story and with others, we're going to be continuing to report it on Zoo News. So stay connected with Zoo News. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and by visiting our website, zoonews.com. I'm Channing Reed. Thanks so much for joining me today. Stay safe out there.